People in the UK have been struggling with the cost of living for years. More recently, it's their pets that have become the latest to pay the price. Rising numbers of dogs, cats and other animals have been abandoned by owners in recent years. There are growing concerns that unless things get better for Britons, hundreds of thousands of people in the UK could be pushed into poverty. Inside British homes, the cost of almost everything has gone up, and it continues to do so as well. Figures for May show that prices in the UK were rising by 3.4%. Food, though, is getting even more expensive. That is up by 4.4% in the same month. British consumers have also been burdened heavily by the cost of energy prices. Those are up around 27% since 2021. As costs have risen, so have the number of people needing help. The British government has said it's concerned about the rise in claims for welfare. It reckons that proposed cuts to the welfare system could save it up to $6.2 billion by 2030.
We're going to press ahead with the reforms, and the principles are if you can work, you should work. If you need help getting into work, you should have that help and support. But if you can't work, there's no prospect of working, then you must be protected.
But there are worries too about the British economy and about the country's defences. A review of government spending in June by the UK Finance Minister Rachel Reeves saw large amounts of money allocated to Britain's nuclear deterrent. Things like infrastructure and energy costs have also seen increased spending.
The priorities of this spending review are the priorities of working people. To invest in Britain's security, in Britain's health, and to grow Britain's economy so that working people are better off.
The British government now has a fundamental issue to tackle. It has to try and fund all this spending at a time when British citizens are already struggling with day-to-day costs. Tax rises are expected because the government is spending more money than it's bringing in. The tariffs brought in by Donald Trump have also created something of a headache for the UK, even though it struck a trade deal in May. But it's not the only one. Governments across Europe are struggling to do things like spend on defence at a time when NATO commitments are going up. They are struggling to deal with US trade tariffs, which have made exports more expensive. And they are struggling to deal with the increasing numbers of people that are relying on them to cover things like welfare payments as well. If governments like Britain's can't deal with plugging those sorts of gaps in their budget, we could see a rise in alternative popularity for parties that are promising different things, including the far right. Joel Flynn, TRT World in London.